this is the proper time to tell you that you're out of potpourri, so go get that, because I just dropped the last of that shit because I'm nervous. But the other thing is I just want to thank, I'm so nervous. Thank y'all for coming. Thank you everybody for taking time out your Thursday to come and listen to my project. I just want to say two thanks. And also, if you want to get some juice for the drinks, there's a store across the street, so like that. But yeah, I think the first thing I want to say is thank you to everybody who's on this album. Like 90% of the people in this room have been involved with this album in some capacity.
People wake up and complain like it's not a whole blessing to wake up in general. Those type of people are criminals. I should say this for an interview.
Dry your eyes, the fuck you crying for?
What's up, you're live with Katiria, you're on Expozedtv, and I have, she is a phenomenal artist. I had the pleasure to interview Oompa, artist, entrepreneur, songwriter. Man, this girl does it all.
What's good?
I love you.
I love you too, yo. What's poppin'?
Like, you are stepping it up. Not stepping it up. You've been stepping it up, because I feel like every project you put out, you've elevated. Cleo is obviously one project that really made people turn their heads, pay more attention. Did you feel that when you put Cleo out, that was gonna be the album that people really was taking more notice? People were really gonna start getting serious about you, paying attention to you? Because I know you've had a fan base for a while, but it seems like when Cleo came out, everyone started going crazy.
Yeah, I think I just stepped it up. I felt like I took myself more seriously. And so I think, like they say, like if you want something to happen, you gotta change it for yourself first, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like I just took myself more seriously, and I was like paying more attention to the pen game, to the production, to the overall project and the concept. So I was like, if I'm paying that much attention to it, that's what I'm putting into it. So you get out what you put in, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm grateful that that's happening. Yeah.
And the storyline, because people would think that this is exactly like Set It Off, but it's not. It's like your story, but your persona is like Cleo.
Yeah.
We got Stony right here.
We got my baby Stony.
Stony sleeping.
It's Stony. She's
like
knocked out. She's knocked out.
Oompa and I had a lot to talk about, but we mainly talked about her new album, Cleo, which she was inspired by the movie Set It Off and the character Cleo.
So the concept of the album is, should I tell y'all, or you want to just?
No, tell us.
So I named the album Cleo because I grew up listening. I grew up like, some of y'all know the hood classic, Set It Off. And the character Cleo really stood out to me. And I think I never understood why until I was older, and I understood what representation meant, and that there wasn't a lot of it for me in my life. So like, I might get a black woman here, I might get a gay person there, I might get a hood nigga there or two, but I never get three of them in the same person. And for the first time, Cleo was that character for me. And so I latched onto the character, and I didn't know why. And then I realized when I was giving up on this album, I watched the movie and it set in that like I relate to Cleo in a lot of ways. Like she kind of just shows up in the movie angry as fuck, violent as fuck, ready to go, and then she dies. It's almost like she's gonna die from the jump. And I like appreciated that, because I think for a long time people thought that my future was like Cleo's. Like people, when I was younger, people were like, oh, you like Cleo with the braids, like the gay girl, like because it was like the only person that they ever knew, which was fine. But I figured, like Cleo deserved more history and more context, and she also deserved the possibility of a future, and so did I. And so I wrote this album thinking about Cleo, the character, but also, about myself and about my stories. But also I didn't have the courage to write all of this and put it publicly in a way that I wanted to, but I think Cleo would have been like, bitch, you better tell our story. And I'd have been like, all right, cool, you got that. So here's the album.
How were you able to portray that and not have people think that, okay, she's just trying to be Cleo, or this was just her trying to feed off the movie? Yeah. Even though the movie's mad old, but
it's mad old, and that's my joint. But the fact is I recorded almost 200 songs. Well, like not recorded, I wrote 200 songs, and I recorded a lot of songs, like not seriously recorded, but a lot of songs, and the ones that kept coming back to me were the ones that's on Cleo, and it was 22 songs originally, and then it was 17, and then it became 15. But I just basically
hold up. First is the flies, now is the
acorns want smoke. Nah, but I was watching the movie one day. I was about to scrap it. This project, it was 22 songs, 17, and when it was at 22, I was gonna scrap it. I was like,
why?
Because I felt like I grew past it while it was happening. So I was like, oh, I'm already ready for the next project. I'm just about to get rid of it. I'm not feeling this. It's not coming together. I literally gave up on it. I was like, I'm good. And I watched Set It Off, and I was thinking about my relationship to every time I watch it, I think about my relationship to Cleo. I'm like, damn, I'm so glad I got out. And I was just like, oh shit, so glad I got out. Like, it was like that kind of thinking. And then I was just like, oh shit, I got a song, me and my sisters, we like Cleo and them.
Oh my God!
And then I was thinking about
that's my workout song, by the way.
Yo, thank you.
You and Brandy's part, like every time I'm in the gym, I'm like,
what's the procedure when you
Brandy? Or when I'm mad and I feel like I gotta go after somebody.
Yeah.
That's the premeditation song.
Yo, don't let them know that that's what that you premeditating that.
Listen, I didn't say it. Scratch that.
What?
I didn't incriminate myself.
Yeah, nah, to scratch that. No. Nah, but yeah, it just ended up coming together. And I was like, wow, this like what would it be like to give her a backstory? Like, I know I have a backstory. What would it be like for her to have a future? Because I have a future. Yeah, it was like a retelling of that character's story, because I think she represented so much for me. And there's not a lot of people that look like Cleo on TV, look like me on TV. So it was like important for me to be like, okay, yeah, you go through all this. Yeah, you got a rap sheet that's long as your name. Yeah, all that. Like, but you can live. Like,
so is that what took you back to saying, wait, I'm not over this project yet?
Yeah, because it helped me find a home, like a way to situate all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it helped me figure out, like, oh shit, like, can I swear?
Yeah.
It helped me figure like, oh shit, like, I could tell this story in this way.
Me and my sister, we like Cleo and them. We like Cleo and them. We like Cleo and them. I said, me and my sisters, we like Cleo and them. I'm talking about Set It Off, not the mind reader and shit, but shit. Me and my sisters, we like Cleo and them. We like Cleo and them. Man, we like Cleo and them. I said, me and my sisters, we like Cleo and them. I'm talking about Set It Off, not the mind reader and shit, but shit.
Good evening. This is Clarence T. Rogers with Boston 810 News.
Yo, Rilla!
Well, I just received word right now.
Yo, check this out.
Okay. A collection of counterfeit $100 bills has been used at a boutique shop, 523. The customer came in, as seen in the sketch artist drawing, and also captured in security camera footage.
I love Oompa's visual content. She's very creative. And I had to say my favorite part was the news anchor. Like, man, who thinks of that? I wouldn't have thought of that. How were you able to execute the news anchor, dude?
Well, that part wasn't even my idea. So I worked with Anson and Josiah.
Yeah, shout out to Anson. Josiah, I don't know if
Josiah, you probably met him.
Yeah.
He's a cinematographer. He's a dope dude, video director. And he was just like, okay, I want to get a picture of you running away from the boutique, and I wanted to come up with a news story, like the news anchor. He was mad excited to be the news anchor too. So he kept making it seem like he wasn't that pressed, but he kept showing us his impression of a news anchor. So I was like, he's gonna end up doing it. And then they sent me the edit, and he had the suit on. And he was the whole joint. I didn't know he really committed. So I really appreciated that because it made the scene,
This summer, Oompa had a big show. She sold the St. Clair out in Cambridge, and I happened to be there front row, enjoying the energy, the dances, the creativity. Man, she had dress changes.
Yeah, I put that work in, I'm saying. I put that work in, I'm playing. I put that work in, I'm saying.
I can't even tell you which part of her show I enjoy the most because she just put a lot into it. Shout out to all her artists that were on stage, the bands. Man, it was lit.
This whole thing is smoke and mirrors. It look gold, it probably is, but if it look down, it's probably a lot. It ain't even hard to be the realest. I'll put that work in, I'm saying.
want to associate visual content with their album because, you know, there's very few artists that do that. But I feel like what I love the most is that you broke down how the songs happened, and you were in Art Studio, and like you had the singers with you. Like, how were you able to like really put that all together and execute it so well? Because I feel like that was the greatest promo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, never mind like a picture of you with the song in the background. Like, that's simple.
Right.
Like, you leveled it up. Like,
Thank
I
you.
don't, you know, all I gotta say is that there's a lot of artists that should, you know, look at you and see that you're truly like an inspiration. I mean, I'm not a rapper, I'm not a singer, but like looking at it, I was like, wow, like this is amazing. Oompa is making it so much fun.
Yeah.
It's more than an album.
That's what it is I have fun, yo. Like, not like I had a grant. I got a grant from the Boston Foundation, which
Dope.
everybody should apply to. It's the Live Arts Boston grant. It's $15,000.
Yo, I'm applying.
You know what I'm saying? $15,000 to like play. And you know, like I thank God that I'm in a position where I could pay my bills off my music right now, like my career as an artist. So I really took that $15,000 and instead of blowing it or playing with it, I like used the trust that the Boston Foundation had in me to make something I was proud of. So I just hired mad different artists that I really fuck with, and I was like, yo, you know, I want you to do all the recaps in the studio. Yeah, I want you to help me think of this short that we're gonna do to like put the character in the world, and then I want, you know, Art, because that's my man's, but he's also one of my favorite engineers. Like I want to work with him like at your price to, you know, and you know, I want to hire all black dancers, and I want to hire like women singers, and you know, like my band. Like I was like, okay, I got some money to do that. Like,
Damn, you orchestrated everything. This is like the mafia. Like,
yo, I'm trying to be the mafia, dog.
You know, me and Oompa spoke about having close friends because being in this industry, it's very tough to really connect with people and know that they're genuine. So Oompa had a lot of great things to say about her close friends, and I really enjoy that part.
So there's a lot of people that, you know, are in my life and I love them, or like that want to be close to me or whatever, and I'm open to all of that. I think what it is like, I know at 20 something, I know what I do and don't want in terms of energy. I know from the minute I meet somebody what kind of energy I want around me. And I listen to that. I used to not listen to that. I used to just give everybody the opportunity to be close to me. And I got burn. And now it's like, I give everybody love, but I might love you from across the street. I might love you from Brockton. I might love you from New Zealand, but
Or Mexico.
But some people are right here. Some people are in my heart. Some people are right here to me. And the fact is that I just got love for everybody, but you know, it just depends on how close I want them to be for whatever reason, you know?
Being in this industry and working with a lot of artists, I have come to find out that when you're creating an album, a campaign, promotion, marketing, you really don't have time for outside stuff, social things. You really have to focus and also take care of yourself while you're creating a piece of art. It just comes to a point where you just have to invest your time and energy who you want. You know, some people hit me up and they're like, yo, we never hang out, and I'm like, we do. I just don't have to do it every day.
Yeah. Also, I'm an air sign. I don't answer texts. I'm bad at text. I'm bad at the phone. If you see me, like, it's right there, we good. But if you think I'm bad. I'm bad at keeping in touch. I'm bad at, I got friends right now.
Because you're creating. It's hard. Like when you're in the type of things that you
straight up.
In the type of things that you're creating are out of the world. We talked about how a lot of people in Boston sometime, you know, they don't like to collaborate, or they might not like to promote their stuff because they're in fear that, hey, I start promoting this other artist, then no one's gonna pay attention to me. But you know, Oompa doesn't feel that way. Oompa promotes all artists here in Boston and worldwide. Wherever she got friends, she got a lot of friends.
As artists, we gotta do better at supporting each other instead of looking at each other as threats, like looking at each other as bricks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we all trying to build this house, you feel me? Like, I'm a brick, like you're a brick. You're a brick, you know, like.
You know what? Sometimes people, they're a brick and they're like, I'm gonna go build my own house within this house. And
takes them 15 years to get a door.
I do. What would be a step for artists to show that they support?
I think they just got to do it in their hearts first.
On their hearts
Because
first.
I think a lot of people see what, especially the women in the city.
Yeah.
A lot of us I just love them genuinely. Like I like the two you mentioned, Cake Swag, Say
Yes.
Blanco. Like doesn't matter who they are. Like I rock with them all. You know what I'm saying? Like. And I think in our heart of hearts that the love is first. You know what I'm saying? And so when Rael, when I big them up, it's like I mean that. So it's in my heart first.
You do, because I feel like you're so blunt. Like if you don't mean it, you're not gonna say it.
I'm not gonna say it
At all.
I'm not. And I love them, and I think that that love that we have for each other sets the tone for the city. So now I think that people, not for the city, I won't say that we're that important. Like I don't understand that. But like I think that it sets the tone for what we're doing. We're able to build because we love and support each other genuinely. There's people who see that now and they're like, oh, I'm with that. Now I gotta support to get something. And it's like you got the wrong intention. I see you. You're trying to support
You're
because
you're trying to go into the culture a different way.
yeah, you're trying to support because you think it's gonna help you out.
Exactly.
Cause I can see the Starbucks from this platform. They relegating niggas to the back of it. Fuck that. I don't know if my wildest dream. Someday I don't know if my wildest dream. Someday I don't even be rooting for the team. Some days I don't even be rooting for the
So
team.
I am very happy and feel honored to even have a relationship with Oompa. It's very fresh, it's very new. But ever since I started hanging out with Oompa and, you know, talking to her on the phone a lot and text messaging her, she just has a big heart. And I was looking at Rhythm and Flow the other night and I started crying and I'm like, yo, why am I crying? But I was crying because I seen all these amazing artists striving to be the best. And it's crazy, but I thought of Oompa because I'm like, yo, Oompa is striving. Oompa is really, you know, doing her best to make it. And I feel like she's there already. She's such an amazing artist that I know this bitch is gonna blow. And she has so much passion in what she does that I'm so happy that I'm around artists and around people like that because it fuels me up. But it's just been a pleasure just getting to know you more.
Same.
And you know, listening more to your music, going to shows, seeing who's around you. Like it's, you know, you're really genuine. And I really feel like I know this in my bottom of my heart. Like Oompa is next. There's a lot of people next, but Oompa, you have the full package. You have everything. Boom! Look at the sexy. Look at her. You know what I mean? And you're just such a black, beautiful woman.
Thank you.
And you inspire so many people because there's not a lot of people that look like you. And I know that that could be tough because when you're in the industry, like for me, you know, there's some things that I do that I'm like, damn, you know, I've been in situations when I've been the only Latina person there, and it's like kind of like uncomfortable and weird, and how do I, you know, stay normal? And I feel like for you, you've been empowering so much women in the queer community to like come out and be yourself. And I really appreciate that, and it makes me comfortable being around you.
Thank you.
Because I'm like, yo, I could talk about any crazy shit. Upa's gonna be like, oh, all right. Like I remember when we all got lit, I would say some crazy stuff in the car. Like it was so crazy that I was like, I woke up the next morning, I was like, I don't think Upa's gonna hang out with me now. Like I said some like crazy ass shit.
And then you come the next day like, yo.
You're like, yo, where we going? Where we
Let's
taking
go
out
to the
there?
beach.
Yeah.
Word. No.
So
lie.
I really appreciate everybody go get Cleo. And see the visuals and see the content, because if you don't understand everything, which I don't understand why you wouldn't, but if you don't understand why Oompa did what she did in Cleo, you know, hearing the interviews that she's had, the articles and just the content, she breaks it down, and Oompa's Oompa.
Word up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it. Appreciate your booty pick, Katiria.
Yes, right here. You already know. You're live with me, Katiria, on Xpozedtv, and I have Miss Celebrity. Yeah, she's a celebrity. Oompa, Cleo is out right now. Let's get it.
Get that.
Stoney.
Oh yeah,
Stoney's
Stoney's knocked out, bro.
On a side note, like every year apparently, like every year for the last couple years that I've known, there's this grant. It's called the Live Arts Boston Grant. It happens every year. It's a $15,000 grant for artists. Like it's mostly hey boo, hi, okay. It's mostly like it's not even like a you have to spend it on this and you have to spend it on that and we got to be impressed by what you spend your money on. It's kind of just like you apply and like there's a lot of people in this room who have gotten that grant or who will get it next year or like who are gonna get, whatever the case is. And so the point is that I just like think that if you're an artist and trying to figure out how to get $15,000 from the city or like how to get people to support your work as an independent artist when we don't have labels behind us, like grants are the way to go. And this is one grant in particular that you should look at next year. So let's go.